Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2011 action thriller film Transformers Dark of the Moon. And the title pisses me off because they always say Dark Side of the Moon, Dark Side of the Moon, Dark Side of the Moon. Every time it's referenced in this movie, it's Dark Side of the Moon. But the trailer is called the title is called Dark of the Moon. So, this came out June 29th, 2011. Megan Fox was fired from this prior to the filming, because she had passed a comment that Michael Bay was like a Nazi, the type of dictatorship when it comes to directing. And Steven Spielberg, who's an executive producer for the Transformers franchise, was not happy about that. So Steven Spielberg fired Megan Fox from this project, which is interesting because Michael Bay was prepping to have her in it. The script was done, but then it had to be changed. So her character, Michaela, broke up with Sam Witwicky, played by our one and only Shia LaBeouf. And this new character, Carly, is brought into play, played by Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. Not the same. Michaela had that grit. Rosie's too, floofy. Makes any sense? The first half of this movie is great. It's also 2.5 hours long. Does not have to be 2.5 hours long. First half of this movie is great. It's like a continuation of the two. Sam just graduated college. It's been 3 months. He's looking for a job in DC. He lives with Carly in her apartment. She has a very well-paying job from this character played by Patrick Dempsey, who we learn is working for the Decepticons, who he inherited from his father's company when his father did deals with NASA and stuff like that. So we get a lot of Moon stuff going on. But this did not have to be 2.5 hours long. The first half was great, and then the rest was just so slow and boring. It took a whole half a movie to get Carly out of Chicago, but she stayed in Chicago, and to deactivate the pillar thing so it stopped bringing Cybertron and Megatron, and Sentinel Prime had their battle, and then Optimus killed both of them. And then that was it. That was the end of the movie. This is when Transformers changed. Was the second half of this movie. First half was good. Second half was not so good. But I did like one little moment in the Chicago battle scene where there was an RPG character video, cinematography wise. The camera had the gun in the screen, but you don't see the actor. But you follow the gun, so it's a real player gaming kind of a thing, which a lot of movies do now with a single view, first person perspective viewing. I like that. 1917, that was a great movie. Another thing I didn't like was the last time we see Sam's parents were them in an RV, and Sam tells them to get out of Chicago. To get out of DC, but that's it. We don't see them ever again. I liked the first half of this movie. We have Shia trying to get a job. He gets a job. Decepticons come about, but it's about the moon landing, the 1969 moon landing. This movie starts in 1961 when some UFO crashed on the moon and it had to be explored. So in 69, that's when Buzz Aldrin and company went to the moon, and they had 21 minutes of downtime because the signal was lost, quote unquote, which is an actual thing. So they had real footage of stuff in this, which I thought was pretty cool. The newscasting, that was really neat. Bring that whole stream of consciousness together of the world watching history. So that was cool. But the objective was for the astronauts in 1969 to explore, to see what the craft was, if there's any life, stuff like that. That's the first discovery of alien life. Okay. So, in the ship called the Ark is Sentinel Prime. Now, we thought all the Primes were dead because they killed themselves to protect the the Matrix, which we talk about a lot in the second movie, which is what brought Optimus back to life. So, we have the Allspark cube, we have the Matrix, and then now we have these pillars. So these pillars are what Sentinel Prime had created to basically be a space bridge. Create a wormhole to bring one thing to another or whatever. And his objective, we learn, because he's a traitor, is that he made it a pact with Megatron because the Decepticons were the winning side of the war on Cybertron. So he betrayed Optimus and the Autobots, went to the Decepticons, made a deal with Megatron, and they were supposed to meet up at Earth, but Megatron got stuck in the ice, and Sentinel's ship never actually made it. He just crashed landed on the moon because it was attacked. So the pillars were then taken by the Decepticons and hidden, but there were 5 left on the ship. So then Sentinel, once he's brought back to life from the Matrix in Optimus Prime, tries to claim that, you know, he still needs the 5 pillars, but then the hundreds of other pillars, you know, come about, and the Decepticons spread them across the world, and Sentinel brings about his master deceiving plan. I didn't like it. I didn't like the betrayal aspect, but I didn't like how it was done. Like, it was weird. And especially, like I said, that end fight scene between Optimus, Megatron, and Sentinel Prime was so boring, because he just kills Megatron immediately, and then Sentinel, he's just 2 shots, pop, pop, dead. What? You have 2.5-hour movie, and that's all I get for an ending? And the last time we see Shia LaBeouf is him and Carly getting into a car after Bumblebee makes a marriage joke. That's it? That's all I get from my boy Sam? That's his ending? Disappointment. And so we go to the 4th movie, Age of Extinction. Let's get ready to talk about Dinobots and how unthrilling they are. Okay. Mucho mahalo.